You wake up, drive 30 minutes to work as an employee at your 9 to 5, which you hate, and all you can think about at work is providing for your family, starting your business, moving it forward, changing the world, and in the process, living the life of freedom and fulfillment you've always imagined. This podcast helps you transition from employee to entrepreneur. My name is Bradley G. Smith, and welcome to the Keymaker Nation podcast.
What's up, guys? It's another Keymaker Nation podcast with Bradley G. Smith, and today we're going to talk about what you need to grow an audience, and specifically without email. All right, so my focus for today is going to be on podcasting, and I want to talk about what it takes to be a guest on other people's shows, and also talk about what it takes to build your own podcast. So specifically, I'm thinking of 4 things that you need to be able to grow an audience via podcasting. Okay, number 1, you need expertise. So you need to be an expert on something. You need to be able to speak intelligently on a topic that people care about and are willing to pay money for. So you need to be an expert in something. So there might be a time of a ramp up period where you have to grow your expertise on something and read a lot of books, listen to a lot of podcasts, listen to audiobooks, read a lot of articles, and grow your expertise on something and be able to talk intelligently on something. So that's 1. You need to be an expert on something. Number 2, you have to have a story that you can tell, and your story has to be interesting. So what it takes for podcasters to want to interview you is you want to have a good story. They don't want to just interview another expert on another topic. They want to hear your story and how you got to where you are. And there's multiple ways to do that. But one of Russell Brunson's books called .com Secrets helps you figure out how to come up with your attractive character and tell a story well. One that relates to you, but you have to be able to tell a story that is engaging and that people are excited to hear about. So you have to be able to tell a story well. So and that story is about yourself. So you have to be an expert. You have to tell a story, and then you need to have a media page. And I've been listening to Funnel Hacker Radio with David Woodward, one of Russell Brunson's guys. He works in the ClickFunnels office. And he's got some really good material on that I've been listening to lately. And one of the items that he's talking about is I'm thinking of 2 things right off the top of my head. One, he had a guest on there that talked about being an expert guest on other people's shows. And then 2, there was a guy who basically has compiled a list of 670 plus podcasts where they are looking for people like you as an expert to be on their show. And he gives that list away for free, and he gives the contact info away for free of those people. So you can go download that list and get the contacts for free, and then you have basically a potential in to get in front of those people. But the particular guest that he had on there who was talking really good about a media page, I don't remember her name exactly, but I think I remember her website. I think her hook was sexyladyboss.com, and she has a media page. So go look at that media page, sexyladyboss.com/media. And she's got a really good page put together. So basically what she does is when she reaches out to podcasters, she'll share her media page with them. And they can surmise in a matter of seconds whether or not they want to interview her. And so if you want to grow an audience and get yourself out there, put a media page together And then number 4 is have a list of people you can reach out to. And of course, you can do research for podcasters in your particular niche, or even podcasters that are in a related niche to yours on your own. But I'm listening to, I think it was the May 18th episode of 2017, where he was speaking with one of his guests, and I'm talking about Funnel Hacker podcast, Funnel Hacker Radio. And he was speaking to one of his guests, and they have put together an entire list of podcasts where you can go look up. It's a directory of podcasters where you can go look up and get their info, reach out to them, and figure out how you can connect with these particular people. And of course, you'll have to figure out how to build a relationship, but you may be able to sort of skip a little bit of that if you have a really good media page put together. It basically helps them make a decision very quickly. And so I'm basically taking 2 of those podcasts and putting them together to sort of help you get a shortcut into figuring out how, when you reach out to a podcaster, can you get on their show quickly or not. So that's pretty much it in terms of being an expert on other people's podcasts and growing an audience outside of an email list altogether. Now, of course, you'll probably want to have a landing page set up that maybe introduces yourself or your podcast, so that people can connect with you and get in touch with you very easily if you're a guest on other people's podcasts. So that's one way to grow your list. And then the other way I've already mentioned in one of my recent episodes, and that episode is, by the time you hear this one, will be published on YouTube and iTunes. But that particular episode talks about content distribution, and I basically go through the whole process of content distribution for you, and basically the content distribution process for a solopreneur or an employee who's trying to transition to entrepreneur is basically I talk about content distribution and setting up your podcast on YouTube, setting up your podcast via iTunes and a couple of other platforms. And there's a real easy way to do that with a WordPress plugin called Blueberry Podcast, I think is the plugin. And then also I'm going, and then also a piece of that is related to transcription. So there are some transcription services out there that will you would also be able to get and use and take your audio and send the audio of your podcast through the transcription services, so that you can take that content and post it either with your episode on iTunes and or on your blog, where you can share the content and maybe share a link to the YouTube video and any other links that you want to share in there. But so yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Those are the 4 things that you need to build an audience. And I also gave you that bonus reference to one of my previous podcasts where I talk about content distribution, specifically on a budget or for a solopreneur. So go look that up. And that's all I got for today, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Hey guys, don't forget to join me in the Keymaker Nation private Facebook group. If you're listening to the podcast via iTunes, please rate and review. And if you're listening via YouTube, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, thanks for listening.